is Africa's educational system serving Africans? Africa's education has been in chaos for a while now because a lot of Africans engineer graduate from school or get a diploma or bachelor's degree. But at the same time, we don't see the boost in the manufacturing sector in the continent. Because if you take a quick look at the educational system, you're going to realize that the British, the French impose most of those things that we're learning with today, Africa, on us. And we've done absolutely nothing to change that. Please stay tuned to the end to enjoy this amazing episode. If you're new to our channel, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you can be the first person to be notified when we drop any future episode. We keep living in the past and look at why the rest of the world is developing rapidly. We're keeping at a slow pace. What we got to be thinking about now is how we can change the educational system to serve Africa, because the current educational system does not serve us at all. It is preparing us to seek employment. Most of that education system is just preparing us to seek employment instead of being employers. We cannot strive by relying on the government to employ everybody. The private sector needs to step up. And we have to change this African thinking of doing Easters within my community. As Africans, we gotta start thinking global, continental. We gotta think about changing the continent, changing the narrative in the continent, and creating big manufacturing plants that can employ a large number of people in the community and sell those products not only in your country, but in other African countries, European countries, and Asian countries. Why not? Africans gotta change their mentality and their mindset and start thinking big, not just thinking big, but put some steps or strategies in place that is going to help us get to where we want to get to. Because as Africans, we gotta be proud to push our own way of doing things to the world. We don't have to sit down and just be taking things from other people, because the African culture is the best culture. How can the rest of the world find out if we don't show them the good side of Africa? We got to tell our story. If we don't tell our story, someone else is going to tell our story. And you don't want to be living in that narrative, because what they're going to say is just everything that's going to make them look good and make Africa look bad. A lot of people in America, think everyone in Africa go for hunting, play with lions or see lions. I'm from Cameroon. I've never seen a lion physically, face to face. But some people here think that that's weird. They think everyone in Africa go to the safari. No, you gotta change the narrative. Africa's got the forest. Africa is a civilization just like every other continent. But if we don't change the narrative or start telling our own story, people are gonna tell our story for us and they're not gonna do a good job. So we gotta start thinking about manufacturing in Africa. That's why I love what Aliko Dangote is doing in Nigeria. He's a visionary thinker, and I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. The Nigerian government, or to be precise, the NNPC, keeps on sabotaging this guy's product by trying not to sell him crude oil. That's messed up. Instead, you want to protect the people who are importing oil from other countries like Europe, and someone who is trying to produce or refine that oil in the continent keep sabotaging them. At least I got some news that the president of Nigeria came to intervene in that crisis, and they came up with a deal that they're going to be selling crude in naira so that way they can stabilize the Nigerian currency. That's a good step. We cannot keep living in a society or country where the government will be protecting the Europeans rather than protecting the citizens of those countries. That's messed up. Some of these leaders, I don't understand what they do. They get into power, and I don't know. Sometimes you think the leaders are for the people, but some of the law they put in place, policies they're bringing or implementing, it's like, is this guy for us or is against us? That's why we need some changes in Africa, and it gotta be rapid. The educational system is not serving us at all. And as Africans, we need to support production of any product in Africa. We need to support. How do we support? With our wallets. We need to buy this product and support the person. Because if we don't support those people who try to bring industries to Africa, what they'll end up doing is they'll be like, it's not worth it. Me producing this product in Africa, it does not really make sense. What I will just want to import rather than produce or manufacture in this continent. So please, I urge each and every African to support their own. We have to support our own. Stop supporting things from other countries and forget about your own. Yeah, sometimes we're happy or excited, but just being excited without supporting financially or buying that product it does not mean anything. At least supporting goes a long way. And we have to start thinking like that. That's how we move the continent forward. Because there was no way South Africa is just going to be great on its own. I know some people consider South Africa as a developed country. Yeah, that's cool. But at the same time, you can't do without the rest of Africa. So South Africans are going to be mad at me because they want immigrants out of the country rather. But at the same time, I understand where they're coming from. Honestly, I do understand where they're coming from. South Africa cannot take all the Africans. At least some other countries got to step up. That's why the African Union have to be reformed because it is not a legit organization right now and move towards an Africa that you and I deserve. Because this one now, it is trash and the leaders got to be ashamed of themselves. I don't know how to sleep at night. Africa should be one of the best continents in the world. But where are we? We know we demand respect, but we don't get it. Why would they respect us? When our house is not in order, we got to put it in order. And the first thing we got to do is change or reform the educational system because it is not serving us. You got to start thinking about manufacturing. Let's just take a look at China. China industrialized or became developed in less than 30 years. If you look at China now, China is living in 2060, while the rest of the world is in 2025. I was saying the Chinese way is the best way, or communism is the best system of government. But the people of that country took the development of their country into heart and they decided that they're going to do everything humanly possible to make China one of the greatest countries in the world. Guess what? It happened. In Africa, we're focused on the challenges and we're not finding out solutions to better handle those challenges. We talk about the problem, we know what's the problem, but why are we not taking actions? We have to change the educational system and we got to stop living in the past. And if you go to an African school, or see writing, taking notes manually, writing with pens and papers, in books and stuff, we have to industrialize. How do we industrialize? Teaching at kids how to use this technology. That's the basic and the fundamental we can start thinking about right now. Some countries like Rwanda is doing a great job in that aspect. But other countries got to follow how we have to put Africa on another dimension because right now it is not there. Manufacturing got to be one of the major plan and strategy for every African country, not just Nigeria, not just the South Africa, not just Egypt, but all of Africa. The educational system is not serving us. And you and I know that. Cannot keep talking about the problem and not implementing some changes. We have to find an educational system that's better serve us. And a lot of this crazy stuff going on in African countries where the leaders protect Europeans more than they protect the citizens gotta stop. I'm gonna keep talking until I start seeing changes. And when I see changes, we start talking about the good things in Africa. Because a lot of people will be complaining that I'm only talking about some of the bad things going on in Africa. Why can't I be talking about good things in Africa? Hey, to that person, to that brother or sister that is watching now, seeing or thinking about me talking only about the good things happening in Africa, I'm not talking about the things that should be corrected. I'm sorry, but we have to change these things because if we don't change them, we're not going to move forward. And someone got to talk about it. Make sure that everyone knows what is going on. See how we can work together towards changing it. AI especially is going to be a game changer. And it's a game changer in a lot of these countries, especially United States and China. But Africa, why not be a giant AI? Please, all the kids watching this go, any young person, you should be thinking about some of the practical fields I can go into. Stop thinking about learning William Shakespeare because that's for serving the African continent. Thank you very much. And I hope change is coming. It is coming. I can feel it. So thank you very much. See you in the next episode.